Welcome to Sabertooth Performance. So in today's video we are gonna flush the entire cooling system of the Fiesta ST. So previously when we bought it, we actually noticed that the coolant right over here didn't actually take any color, for example pink or blue or green or whatsoever. So I just think it's a good time now to actually go and flush the system. So I'll be showing you guys exactly how to do it, and it is pretty simple. So we are gonna need all of these things you guys are seeing now, but you're not gonna use all of these tools. You see, what happened was I have never been actually underneath the car, so I'm not sure if the car actually has got one of those plugs you remove for the water to drain, or if we are gonna have to disconnect a pipe. So I just went and brought so much things. I brought pliers, I brought the socket sets, screwdrivers, and so much more, but we will go into more specific once we get underneath the car, and I'll show you guys exactly what you need. So for this, we're gonna need the jack stands. The car is extremely low, so for us to actually get down there is going to be very, very important. So we're going to have to get a jack. We're going to have to jack the car up. We've got 4 stands over here. Let me just fix that. There we go. Now it's in line. So we're going to need 4 jacks to keep the car up in the air. You see, you can't only use 2 jacks to lift up the front of the car. You see, what's going to happen is your nozzle, or the pipe you need to remove, has got to be the lowest part of the car. So if you're actually going to jack your car up on an angle, all the water is still going to remain at the back of the engine. So we actually want to get rid of all of that water, so we've got to make sure that we align the car into a straight way. That is why we are gonna have 4 jacks. We're just gonna have some of these gloves just to make sure we're not injure ourselves. We're gonna have a few gloves because I think we're gonna miss. I just got a feeling, but not too much obviously. Then we're gonna need a bucket, and we are gonna need antifreeze. So these are the HEPU or something. It is coolant additive. So technically we are gonna go 50-50 with the car. So the car is about almost 6 liters of the cooling system. So here is 1.53 liters of antifreeze, and then the rest we are just gonna top up with water. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we just slide in our jack underneath the car, and I want to show you guys where you gotta grip the car in order to jack it up safely. So if the camera can just zoom in. Okay, right over here at the top, you guys can see there's a metal piece with one of these cut out pieces over here. So this is the area where you actually want to jack up the car. So the nice thing about it is that this jack actually can rotate a bit, because if we do come to the back, the jack is just too large to put it in an angle, so we can just turn that one a little bit just to make sure it is flush with the middle piece. Then we can go jack it up, and then we can put the jack stand in underneath. Okay, so currently we have got the front part of the car jacked up. So I forgot completely to mention that how we're gonna jack the car up is that we are gonna do the front first, and then afterwards we are gonna do the back. I just think in that way it's gonna be much more safer, because we do have the handbrake supporting the back wheels, just to make sure that the car doesn't roll back. So also, let me show you guys quickly where we place the jack stands. So if we go down here, underneath, let's move a little bit more this way. So as you all can see, here by the flange, this is where we jacked up. So you just place the jack right next to it, still on that flange piece. And perfect, she is done. She is jacked up. We can actually go just give it a soft shake. Nope, she's not going anywhere. She is jacked up safely. Is that even a word? Jacked up safely. So the car is currently supported by the 4 jack stands. So I went and add one extra precaution, and it is the jack itself. So we actually just jacked up the car until it got the flange that we technically put all the jack stands and stuff on. So yeah, now the jack is there. So if this or any jack has to fail, at least we got some extra support. I mean, it's still better than nothing. So now we gotta go in underneath and see if it has a drain plug. Moment of truth. Let's get underneath. Okay, so we are in the front of the car. Let's see if I can actually turn on my light. Oh yes, we can. So this is the front part of the car that you guys are seeing now. So one of these pipes, they are the radiator pipes. As you guys can see, it's a good thing I actually brought my pliers with, because I was thinking I was going to be clamped on one of those clamps holding down by a socket. So if I do look, this entire metal part here, where's my finger? There, this entire metal part here at the back is part of the radiator. The fans, which is just part of here, is attached to the radiator. And if we follow it all the way through, as you guys can see, there is no drain plug or howsoever. The lowest pipe for us is going to be this pipe over here. So this is going to be a messy job, and I've actually heard people breaking their thumbs. I don't know how they do it with these clamps. So technically it's a simple clamp. You're just going to take pliers or a vice grip or whatever. You're just going to press it and you're going to wiggle it all the way to the back. Please don't try to remove this the clamp and the pipe at the same time. You are probably gonna break more than just this thumb, but no, for serious, just press it down, wiggle it back. I'll see if I can get it onto video, because yeah, one hand, big job over here. So yeah, once this plug is actually out of the way, we can just go and turn. It will be the best option to turn this pipe and get it off. So yes, and then the water will be stumbling down here, so please just make sure you've got your bucket. I actually have my bucket over here. So there we go. So just make sure you've got a bucket trying to catch most of the water. So let me go get the vice grip. Believe it or not, all the tools that I brought, I did not bring the vice grip. So we're just going to go ahead with these pliers. Honestly, they are not the safest, because you always got to apply pressure on it and then trying to wiggle it. So it's just a lot of things to do at once. But I mean, it can still do the job. There's nothing wrong with it. So let's get underneath. There was just another thing that popped up into my head. So once we pull out that water drain, all the water is just going to flow out there because of gravity. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to keep the lid on here at this moment, because when we are going to be down there, we're going to pull the pipe out. At least maybe if we're lucky, we won't have air sucking through here, meaning the water is going to drain even quicker. So hopefully it's going to keep the stream to the minimum. I kind of doubt it, but I hope so. At least once the bucket is there, the water is busy draining, then we can come back up, open the cap, and all the water can drain completely. Hopefully I will be able to do this with one hand. So we're just going to crimp the pliers. Well, oh, already we got fluid coming out, and as you guys can see, it is super dirty. So let me just get the bucket quickly. I think that should be right underneath it. Okay, so let's try this again. So we're gonna crimp it and then trying to wiggle it to the back. Perfect. That was actually much easier. Seems like I can fix cars with one hand. I just want to move it a little bit more to the back, because currently I'm not so happy with it. It just feels like it is still in the way. Okay, okay. So what I want to do is I just quickly want to move this part a little bit out, because I think it's still clipped on the plastic underneath. It seems like I'm going to need two hands. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pry down here and use my other hand to shove it up on that side. And great news, as I told you guys, I just pried down here, took my other hand and just shoved it up at the back. So now we got to get this pipe out, so it might be a little bit stuck, but let's see. Hopefully we're lucky enough to be able to do that with one hand as well. Okay, so let's see. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh gosh. Okay, that was not good. I got literally coolant all over on me. Is it going in the bucket at least? Most of it is. Oh, look at that water. It is super dirty. So we're gonna go to the top now and open the cap for the coolant. And honestly, there was so much water that came out. My entire phone is wet, my arm is wet, my gloves is wet. Oh, there we go. Still weeing. And as you guys can see down there, the water level is actually going downwards. Okay, the cap is out. Let's see how it's going down here. We almost didn't even need the bucket, honestly. We got most of it on the floor. So the car has been draining for about 5 to 10 minutes, I would say, and the flow has actually really went down. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put this back together. Even though there is a little bit of water in there, there is nothing wrong with it. So we're just gonna take this pipe, put it back in. Oh, now that I wanna put it back in, there's more water gonna come out. Let's just see. Make sure the last bit of water is out. Okay, so let's go ahead, plug this one back in, all the way to the end, make sure it's flush. So now it is the plier time. So we're just going to do exactly the opposite that we did earlier. Let me just see if I can get a good grip on it. There we go. Trying to see if I can wiggle it back. Sorry, holding this plier with one hand. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna need to get two hands for this. So technically I'm just gonna prime down here and take the top and just push it up a little bit, and then hopefully it will be good enough to take the video again. Okay, perfect. And oh, well, not perfect. They do intend to slip, so there we go. So we're just gonna take it all the way until you're at the end. You don't want to put it all the way at the end, just a little bit upwards, but just make sure that it is tight. The pipe can't move. Let me put the pliers down quick. There we go. I'm trying to like shake it. I'm shaking my entire phone as well. But yes, there we go. It is stuck in there. It is really good. So now we can actually go and compare this water to the water we should actually have in here. So now you guys can imagine that is what we just removed, and this is the color that we actually have to have in here. So we're gonna go, hopefully I can do this. Today is a one-hand video day, so let's put it in. This is just for a small comparison, just to give you guys an idea. So there we go. Here is the clean one. Obviously it's going to be diluted a little bit in there because it's going to be 50% of antifreeze and 50% of water. So let's see, I'm going to definitely need two hands. Ooh, unless I can do this. Okay, so there we go. This is the old water and this is the new water. It's not specifically that it's really dirty, especially if you do look in here. It just seems like there is a lot of water in here because you can actually see kind of through it. I don't know if I can get my finger in underneath. But yeah, as you guys can see, it is like really, really see-through. So I must say that is mostly just water, and that is why we actually decided to change the water and drain everything and just place in some antifreeze. So we've got the old water out. Underneath it's plugged back in, so now we're gonna go and throw all the antifreeze in at the top, and then we're gonna have to let the car idle. We're gonna have to keep on topping up with water so that the system can bleed all the air out. So if I did broaden my funnel, it would have been so much easier, but nope, obviously I've forgotten something. So we're just gonna go keep topping this up. Perfect, so let's go get the second one. Here we go for number 2. So yes, as you guys do notice that we're actually already going past the full mark. It's just because the system is actually kind of a little bit empty underneath, so we are just topping this up. So once the car starts actually, okay, now we're at the all the way at the top. Okay, we're having some bubbles coming out there where the water is actually going through the system. So yes, what's going to happen is as we start the car, let me just put this down. There we go. So as the system is actually running, the water pump turns on, it's going to start sucking out all the air. All the air will come out here, and also all the water will drain inside the engine. So most of the radiators actually has a cap somewhere here at the top. I don't think this car actually has it. So one thing I also like to do is actually throw in some fluid at that area, but yeah, honestly I don't think it has it. I mean, I can remove this entire plastic cover, but I think we should be doing good. As you guys can see, the level has actually already went down. So let's just get some more of these. Oh, we can even hear it. It is busy draining in, so we're just gonna top it up again. Wow, it actually went down a lot. So we're gonna go and just add water to these bottles. So as you guys know, we added 2 of these, and it's gonna be 50-50%. That means we gotta get about 2 of these bottles of water. So let's go and fill them up. We're gonna start idling the car so that the entire system can start pumping the water through the engine. Okay, so we just started her up. So if you do look over here, at the top you guys saw the heat gauge. So I'm gonna have to multitask, and I'm actually really happy that the coolant tank is on this side of the engine, so it's just easier for me to see. So I have to keep an eye on the gauge to make actually sure that the gauge doesn't overheat, because the system actually has to bleed out all the air now, and at the same time this level is gonna start dropping, and I gotta keep on filling it up. So now is the waiting game. So what I actually did was I just revved the car up a little bit and hold it about at 1,500 RPMs, and as we can see there is some bubbling taking place now. So I think it's on this side actually. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see me. Let's put it on the flashlight quick, always on. There we go. So there is the max. We just gotta wait for the water to actually drop till the max, and then once it is at the max, we can always go and top up if it goes underneath. So otherwise, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm just gonna keep on sipping on the fuel a bit to keep the RPMs up a little bit, just to make sure that the water pump is going. Okay, so one thing that I just want to do, because the car is up, it is idling, and the water is actually dropping down, I just want to go underneath the car and make sure we've got no leaks. So down we go. Alright, and here is the pipe right over here. As you guys can see, there's no new water on it. The pipe seems 100% dry just here at the edge, but that doesn't really matter. But the thing is that we actually removed this pipe over here, so we don't have any leaks here. That is good. And perfect, so we are about done. So as you guys can see, the water is not down to its level, but obviously when we do gonna drive a little bit around, the water is still gonna drop, trying to get all the air out. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna go put the cap back on. And perfect. So one thing I do want to tell you guys is that you can actually get those bleeder, what do you call it, like a bleeder funnel or something like that, where you can actually go and put it on here and it's just going to work out all of the air. They are pretty good. I'm not going to lie, unfortunately I do not have one. Maybe for the next video I'll get one of those. So now we got to go and actually jack the car down. So as you guys can see right over there, the water level actually went down. I saw a lot of bubbling coming from this one here at the bottom. I don't know if we're going to see any of it now. Oh, there we go. There's some more bubbling. How happy one gets when your car bubbles. So anyway guys, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy this video or find it useful or whatsoever, please do drop a big like. If you guys are new and you'd love to support the channel, hit the logo at the bottom right corner to subscribe. If you want to see a similar video, hit the screens, well, hit the titles on the screen, and I'll see all of you legends on my next video. But for now, cheers everyone.